killed by a homeowner in his front yard have just been identified. Police tell us they are two 16-year-olds and a 15-year-old, all from Conyers. Channel 2's Aaron Diamond live in Rockdale County. Aaron, investigators say these teenagers were trying to rob that homeowner when he pulled out his own gun.
Yeah, this is where the drama went down, Jovita, and investigators are still trying to sort out why those three teenagers, 15 and 16-year-old brothers plus another 16-year-old boy, showed up here wearing masks. The sheriffs told us one of them had a gun and ran into a man who lives here with an even bigger gun.
I was scared. My ears was ringing. That first shot had my ears ringing.
Asteria Williams told us she hit her bedroom floor when she heard gunshots just feet from her window overnight.
My room is right here. I'm right here by it.
Rockdale County Sheriff's deputies spent hours Monday collecting evidence on White Oak Court after a man who lives in this home shot and killed three masked teenagers he confronted on the front lawn.
He's a nice dude. He's a nice, caring dude. If they would have knocked on the door and asked him for anything, he would have gave it to them. He's a nice dude.
Earlier, while investigators worked the scene,
he didn't have to kill them.
Frustration from this group, who wouldn't give their names, but told my colleague Sophia Choi they're related to one of the teens who died.
It's not how it's supposed to go. I understand one shot to stop the people, the victims or whatever, but aggressively to shoot these little teens, that's an overkill. That's too much to handle.
Neighbor Carlos Watson told us the gunfire woke him up. Then a small army of deputies flooded the cul-de-sac within minutes.
Chaos. I moved here from Chicago, so it kind of put me back into a mindset. I didn't know what was happening initially, and I just wanted to make sure everybody was okay.
And while investigators work to understand exactly what led to the shooting, for Asteria Williams,
it's sad. You shouldn't risk your life for nothing like that, because you can't get it back. Now they're gone, and it's sad.
Though the sheriff would not give us the names of those three teenagers, he did tell us investigators are still trying to interview those who knew them, trying to figure out why they showed up here. The sheriff told us the homeowner has been released for now. As soon as we get any updates, we'll of course bring them to you. For now, we're live in Rockdale County. Aaron Diamond, Channel 2 Action News.
Good morning, my faithful loyal YouTube subscribers. Today is Wednesday. It is September the 18th. The year is 2019. Wednesday, September 18th, 2019. So, two young kids lost their lives because three young kids made a horrible decision to go out at 4 in the morning and rob, or attempt to rob, a young man. We don't know who the victim was because they haven't said the age of the victim or not. We don't know how old or whatever. We don't know his age, but we do know that he was attempting to get robbed. They were attempting to rob someone at 4 o'clock in the morning. Two 16-year-olds and a 15-year-old, if I'm correct. What were they doing out at 4 in the morning? What were they doing trying to rob somebody? What entered into their mind that we're going to rob somebody? What? Yeah, it's sad. And the thing that when I first saw this report, the first thing that entered my mind is, what are they doing out at 4 in the morning? And where were the parents at? Where were the parents to these kids? Don't they find their kids missing? Because I can assure you all, I know we live in different times, but when I was a teenager, I was not out at 4 o'clock in the damn morning at 15 or 16 years of age without my mother and father being right there next to me if we were out. First off, what in the hell would we have been doing out at 4 o'clock in the morning? This is why when I look at our communities today, something has gone terribly amiss, terribly awry. Something's wrong here. The fact that these young kids were out at 4 o'clock in the morning, two of the victims were brothers who were shot and killed. It boggles the mind. Did they need the money that bad? Were they hungry? Did they not have food at home? What would have possessed these young kids to get up and leave their home if they had a home? I mean, I've tried to find as much data as I can on this story, but I haven't really been able to figure out, because they haven't said the kids' names, they haven't showed the family members, they haven't really said. I think they did show a video. There's another news clip I couldn't find where they did talk to some family members, I think, but I have not been able to find that news clip because I wanted to use it. But I know I saw something. However, something's wrong. when you have children this young who made a decision that they're going to rob somebody and they end up getting killed in the process? Did they not realize what they were doing? Did they not understand? Did they not really get what they were doing? And some people, I'm not going to celebrate the loss of the lives of these young kids. But I will say this. We all know that if that man had not had a gun and protected himself, they may have killed him in the process. They had a gun and they fired first. He fired back, striking all three of them, killing them. One died on the scene, the other two died at the hospital. How did they get to the hospital? It's just very... I'm still kind of... And this was in the news for a day or two, now it's gone. That's why I couldn't really find the other reports. They've already moved on to the next story. But this should have been a wake-up call for people in our community, how young these kids are out here committing these violent crimes. That is a violent crime to approach someone's house at 4 o'clock in the morning with a gun attempting to rob someone. That's a violent crime. They fired the gun first. And he shot and killed them before he realized that they were young teenagers. But he had to do what he had to do to protect himself. Because otherwise he probably wouldn't be. They'd be in jail today, and he'd be in his graveyard. Instead, it's the other way around. He's walking free, and those three teenagers are in head to their graves. And so I'm not going to sit here. Some people are rejoicing at this. I can't rejoice with this. I'm grateful that man stood up and defended himself. But it hurts my heart to know that these three young kids lost their lives. And because something's not right here. Where are their parents? Where are they? Why were they out this time? I don't understand. Like y'all, and here's the sad part about it, because I've seen this type of stuff in my own family. My oldest sister Mia did not properly raise her children. Those kids ripping around the streets did all kinds of stuff at young ages, and she just was not an appropriate mother. But my sister Mia will tell me, I don't have a curfew for my kids. They can do what they want to do. I'm thinking, what is going on in your head? But she was so determined that she was not going to raise her children the way my mother raised us, that she just let anything go. No curfew. They didn't have to go to school. They didn't have to do nothing. They didn't have to clean up the house. They didn't have a certain bedtime. It was just chaos and confusion that has carried on into these children's lives as adults. See, I saw this in my own sister's kids. My youngest nephew, Mia's youngest son, that man served close to 10 years in prison. He just got out, and he crazy as fucking hell. I think he went to prison maybe about 15, 16, or 17 years of age, 15, 16, somewhere up in there, for robbery. I don't know what exactly took place. But something, he was in prison for close to 10 years, a long period of time. I might have that number wrong, but he's out now. He's still cuckoo patty crazy. He's much worse off now than he was before he went to prison. But I blame this all on my sister and how she decided she was not going to raise her children in any type of structure. My sister once told me, I want my boys to be thugs. I remember thinking, what? But it's what she told me. Now, I don't know what was going on in her head. But listen, I don't live in a community with children. When I was looking around, looking at places to move into, when I looked at places where they had a lot of teenagers and kids, I said, this ain't gonna work for me. Here, very few teenagers here, but a small amount. I don't want to live around a bunch of kids and teenagers, especially with parents who don't give a fuck. I just don't want to live around that mess. I'm not going to go out there into the, but there's a high school near me, and there are a lot of teenagers that roam this neighborhood. So I always keep my eye out for these kids, because I know they're bad as hell. When they first opened this grocery store across the street from where I live at, there's a gas station. Kroger has a gas station there. The kids were going over there and doing slides, getting into people's cars, driving off, stealing people's purses. It was the kids from The area, I'm not going to say they were teenagers from the area, and then they had to actually put police security there at that gas station, and they still do have police security. For a long time, they had Atlanta police officer parked there, but now they have private security parked there because people were afraid to go to that gas station because so much shit took place when that gas station first opened. So now things have calmed down tremendously because they have security there. All the time you go over there, the security is right there. I was meant to get some gas for that damn car's on E. I'll finish this video, run my ass over and get some gas. That sucker's on E. Dang, I forgot. I meant to get off the highway, get some gas, then come home, but I'm about to go back over there. But, you know, before I go to the gym later on, because I'm going to the gym twice a day. I go to the morning and do cardio, and I go back in the evening time and do my workout. Last night was a killer workout. But I feel sorry. I know that the man who shot and killed those kids, he's hurting. And they won't say who he was, but we already know he's in a lot of pain and fear that these kids would approach them at 4 o'clock in the morning. Luckily, he had his gun on him because they don't tell him how the story would have ended. I've read a lot of stuff on the internet, and I'm not going to go into the details. Some people were celebrating this. And get them with their kids. That really bothered me. But I do know that those kids probably would have killed or shot or harmed somebody out there. They came with a gun. And they fired it. So they were coming to do some harm. And we know these teenagers will kill you. We all know that. We see it every day in the news. But I still can't celebrate those 3 lives, those 3 teenagers' lives getting lost. I don't see any joy in this. Because they should have never been there. They should have been at home. But that goes back to my question, what was at home? Did they even have a home? What were their family members? My sister's, the way she raised her children was horrible. Those kids barely had food. Barely had a bed to sleep in. She kept moving them around. Jumping from place to place. There was so much confusion. And of course my mother was like, Jesus, everything gonna be all right. Jesus, my Walter, you just so worried everything gonna be fine. I'm telling them kids gonna be fine. This God gonna take care of it. You just wait. So when you have my mother, I'm like, Mama, something going on. We need to do something. And I hate the fact that we didn't get involved. And I decided to wash my hands out of it. You know, everybody, Mama, you worried about it. God gonna take care of everything. Jesus gonna be fine. Trust me on this. And there's been nothing chaos and confusion. Jesus ain't did a goddamn thing. Trust me on this one. Nothing. Been chaos and confusion for those kids. Now they having kids. Now they having kids. And the generational curse or poverty around, it continues. I always look at my mother and say, Mom, don't you see it? Do you not see this? What's going on here? She don't see it. You don't know what God got in store for them. I'm like, well, God ain't did a damn thing yet. So I'd stay out of it. I don't have any kids. And I can assure you, if I had kids, I know what the fuck they was at 4 o'clock in the goddamn morning in their motherfucking bed. I'd be choking the shit out their fucking asses. They wouldn't be outside. They would not be. I would know where my children were at 4 o'clock in the morning. But I don't have any children. Don't plan on having no children. Ain't gonna have no children. Not looking forward to having children. Never wanted any children. I saw my sisters and my nieces and nephews were going through, and I said, who would go through this? Hell, I looked through what I went through as a kid. I said, I'm not going to continue this bull crap. It was ridiculous. And I don't know what them kids were thinking when they grabbed up that gun and ran out there thinking we going to rob a neighbor. And they ended up dead. They didn't factor that into it, huh? They didn't factor that into it. And now they did. Where did they get this thought from? Who instilled this in their heads? What possessed them? Because I was a 14 or 15-year kid. Never entered my mind to grab a gun and go rob a neighbor. Where did this thought come from? Where? Where did they think this? Where did this thought? How? Too late 90 now, and these kids are dead and gone. And you would think. Yeah, the funny part is it happened out there in Rockdale County. Rockdale County is going through, and Rockdale used to be an all-white county, but now the black folks have flocked in. Gentrification in the city has forced black folks further out into the suburbs. Rockdale used to be a very safe place. And as I was watching that news report and I saw them black folks out there, I said, Rockdale didn't really get rough out there. Rockdale, Covington, Newton County, those blacks have fled into that area, moved into those areas. The white folks have fled back into the city, further out. Those areas have become very dangerous. And I was very curious. I was just very curious. I would love to know the victim in this. Was he white or black? I'm just curious to know. But it wouldn't matter because the kids had masks on their face. He didn't know they were kids. And most 15 and 16-year-old kids today, they look way bigger. They look about like me. He probably thought they were grown-ass men. He defended himself. He defended himself. Y'all, he did what he had to do. He defended his home. He had to stand up for himself. You got three niggas coming at you. You don't know what the fuck is going on. And it's just water. But I couldn't. I've tried to get as much information as I can on that from the news report. When I tell you the news media has moved on, they don't give a fuck. They moved on. And I was really hoping they would go deeper, like go talk to the parents, go talk to the school. Who were these kids? Why did they have to do this? I almost want to drive out there myself and say, what took place out here? What happened? Why were they out at 4 o'clock in the morning? Where did they live? What were their living environments? Did they have food in the house? What led them to do this? There's a lot to this that we don't know. Other than the 3 dead teenagers, what led up to this? What led up to this? And it's not the first time this happened in the Atlanta area. There was an incident in Stone Mountain a few years back where these 3 kids ran out of his house. They left, I'll never forget that. I think they were about 14 or 15 years of age too. And they were trying to carjack this woman in a car and they shot her and she still got away. But I remember the news media talking to that man, the father. He said he didn't know his kids had left the house. He thought they were in their rooms. But they were out at 3, 4, 5. It was sometime in the morning robbing some woman trying to carjack this woman. He claimed he didn't know. So I would like, I got some questions. And I really wish the news media had dug just a little bit deeper. Just to find out what took place. And I was hoping that something would show. Y'all didn't moved on. 3 dead teenagers. Next! Bob, what's the next story? You know, they said in Atlanta, if it bleed, it leads. And they got a lot of bleeding going around here. So they got other lead stories to move on to. They can't spend no more time on this one. They dead and gone. Move on. I tell you all, when I'm out and about in Atlanta at nighttime, I'm very careful. And I'm not really a nighttime person, but I've learned to watch my surroundings. I'm just not out there on the cell phone. La 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 la. Yeah. Girl, you so crazy. Hell no. Cell phone is in the pocket and I'm looking around on nigga patrol because I don't trust nobody. And I have friends bigger than me who, when they graved down, got shot and killed. It was a boxer. I'd never forget this shit. This boxer was out with his son. It was a few years back in Mechanicsville. In Mechanicsville, there's a boxer. A boxer. And a prize, I forget his name. With his son in a convertible Corvette, if I'm correct. Had to put some air in the tire. He was pulled into a gas station, putting air in his tire when these kids approached him and robbed him and took some stuff from him. One was his ring or something. And he chased after them, leaving his son in the car, which was... Anyway, he chased behind these young folks. This was in Mechanicsville. They ended up shooting and killing him, but he should have just let them go on. Eventually, they did get that ring back. The police did. He should have let them go on after they robbed him, took his son and went on home, but he decided to chase after them. He shouldn't have never done that. And they shot and killed that man. Them kids, if they caught those kids, they were only like 14, 15, or 16. They were very young. It was three or four of them. They got all of them, and they did get that ring back. But unfortunately, that man lost his life in that. Big guy. So size don't mean shit when a bullet is put into your head. That's why I always say, hey, I watch my surroundings. Flat tire, we won't be stopping putting no air in that motherfucker. We gonna roll on that flat tire all the way to the house. I've done it. I'm not stupid. I know these niggas ain't looking for any opportunity. I don't trust people. Not in Atlanta. Anywhere, truth be told. I learned you cannot put your life at risk out here at nighttime. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. This man knew. The first thing he did, he was strapped. Smart man. I give him that. He was ready. They weren't ready. And they lost their lives behind it. Again, I'm not celebrating these young kids getting shot and killed like that. But they should have had their asses at home in bed. And I hate that this took place. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on this. I look forward to reading your all's thoughts and opinions about it. But we just keep in mind those were kids. And we've all been kids and we've all done stupid shit. And it's unfortunate these kids lost their lives doing something very stupid. But anyway, I'm out of here. Today it is Wednesday, September the 18th. The year is 2019. I'm out. Enjoy your day.